everyone! Last week we got back from a 10-day trip upriver to our training center where we were working with an indigenous tribe called the Candoshi. So this whole video is going to be about that trip and what the Candoshi people are like and the ministry that we do with them. Do you guys hear that too? I think someone's doing like construction. It's not stopping. We're just gonna pretend we don't hear it, okay? So the Candoshi people live deep in the Amazon jungle. It took most of them 2 to 3 days by boat to arrive to Upriver, and it's not like a big speed boat. They're really tiny boats. I don't know if I have any videos or pictures, but I'll insert them if I do. So it's not a comfortable journey, and a lot of them bring kids with them too. Most of their villages have anywhere from, they say, like 25 to 50 people. And you know, they don't have like 9 to 5 jobs. Most of the time they're just going to their farms or hunting, and that's how they have food to eat. The girls get married usually around age 13 to 15 and like just immediately start popping out babies. There was a girl there who was my age, 25, and she had been married since she was 13 and already had 6 kids. So these are some strong women who go through a lot. I was asking them about when they give birth, how it works, and they just do it like right there in their hut. And I asked, like, did the husbands even help? And they said no. But I think if they have like friends or family in town, I think they come over to help them. These are just, like I said, some very strong women who I'm so impressed by. Now, most of the men can understand and speak Spanish pretty well, and some of the women and children can too, but for the most part, the women and children only speak Candoshi. So whenever we are doing our trainings, we have a translator the whole time who is translating from us in Spanish to Candoshi for them. We are basically telling them stories from the Bible through, I don't know if you want to call it like a technique, but it's called orality. And what orality is taking stories from the Bible and kind of like summarizing them or shortening them. A few weeks before the trip, we get a list of stories. And for example, I had 3 stories to do, and they range anywhere from being, you know, 2 minutes long to like 7 minutes long in there somewhere. And we memorize the story. It's all in Spanish. And every day, I think the Candoshi sat through 6 different stories. The whole goal of orality is that the Candoshi people can memorize the stories that we're telling them and then be able to take them back to their communities and retell them to other people. So basically how it works is, say that it was my turn for a story, I would get up in front of the Candoshi and I would tell my story all the way through. You don't want to just do the story in a really boring way. You want to do it animated, maybe add some like hand motions in there for them. After you tell the story one time, you tell it another time all the way through. And then the 3rd time, you can kind of ask them to like interact with you and help you with telling the story. And then after that, you give them the opportunity to come up and tell the story themselves. And the whole time that we're doing this, we have the Candoshi translator translating everything that we're saying from Spanish to Candoshi, and then translating what they're saying from Candoshi to Spanish back to us. So after they retell the story as well, then we have a set of questions that we ask them to break down the story, and then a lot of the times they'll have questions to ask us about the story. Somehow I ended up picking some stories that were just not easy ones to tell. It wasn't just like, you know, talking about like Noah and the ark or Jonah and the whale. For example, one of the stories that I had is the story from the Bible where it talks about if your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. If your foot causes you to sin, you know, cut it off. So obviously they had a lot of questions about what exactly does that mean? Is that being serious? And I was terrified that the next day of training they were all going to come in, you know, missing limbs. And there actually was someone that had accidentally cut her toe off, and I was like, wait a second, was this my fault? But it was totally an accident, it was not my fault. They had a lot of really good questions, and as the storyteller you have the chance to explain it to them in a way that they can understand. And then I also was in charge of kids ministry during the trip. So every afternoon we would round up, the Candoshi kids were there, and then some of the other kids that just live in Upriver, and we would do a little kids program with them. We did like crafts with the kids each day and had different Bible stories. And the Candoshi kids, it's always really fun to see because like the first 2 days they're super shy and you know they don't really know what to expect, but by like the end of the week they are just a lot more comfortable. We also brought this giant slingshot and these rubber chickens, and we're just shooting chickens off for the kids to catch, and they had so much fun with it. I think I even have a video. We decided we wanted to shoot the chicken over like an entire building, and I don't know, it was just a lot of fun. One of my favorite things that happened during the week, if you notice in the pictures, all of the Candoshi women are wearing like their traditional dress, and a lot of them go barefoot. Some of the Candoshi women were willing to make us dresses, and so we went out and we bought the fabric, and they made us dresses, and they were so excited about it. They were all taking pictures of us the whole time. And then for the last like night of service, we wore our dresses, and it was just really special because, you know, I was scared that we were going to offend them by doing that, but they just loved it so much and were so excited that we looked like them. Although I didn't really look like them. I have some pictures where like they are so tiny. They go up to like not even to my shoulders. They're just so short. It was a really fun trip, and I'm really looking forward to getting to go back hopefully in February for the next training and to get to see some of them again and continue our ministry. Tonight I actually have our very first English class starting back up, so it's going to be a really fun and busy couple of weeks, and I'm looking forward to coming home for Christmas and getting able to see some of you guys. So thank you for watching.